Hi, welcome to Talk Back Live, a show that gets you involved in live conversation and sports with Brian Camp on Sports Update, bringing you the latest developments in today's world of sports. And now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Well, hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a pleasant night to each and every one of you in your different time zones around the world and across the country. Here we are another Thursday. It's 8 p.m. on the East Coast, 5 p.m. on the West Coast. It's Friday morning in London at 1 a.m. and of course, still Friday morning too, over in Tokyo, Japan. And we thank you so much for being along with us. And everyone is getting ready to start another weekend, which is coming up pretty soon. We're going to get you there. Hi, my name is Frank Allan. Welcome to another edition of Talk Back Live. This is where we meet every Thursday at this time, and you guys may be different in different time zones around the world, across the country. So all you have to do is look at your clock and look at that clock and look what you got there. Well, that's the time we come on in your area each week. Now we're coming to you live from New York City. That's where we originate. And of course, we're in the Eastern Standard Time Zone. So this is where we are. We're going to be here for the whole full hour. And in that hour, we've got a lot of talk, we've got a lot of conversation, and you're going to get in on it. All you have to do is let us know what you want to talk about. All you have to do is use your keyboard on your computer or your telephone. You got a telephone, right? Everyone has one of those. You can either use it on your telephone or, of course, on your tablet as well. And all you have to do is just type in on that keyboard, let your fingers do the walking. I'll get to see you right there on the big screen. Anything you want to talk about, we have the information right here and now. Maybe you just want to come in and say hi, that's okay too. Or maybe you want to talk about something, a topic of the day or a topic of tomorrow or next year, whatever. Anything you want to talk about, all you have to do is get in there, because as the host of the show, I get things going by doing what I'm doing now. Right, and I get conversation going. And while you're doing all of that, all you have to do is just, as I said, type in and let us know what you want to talk about, and we'll entertain you too. But thank you so much for being along with us. And as I said, we're going to be here for a whole full hour. And of course, there are many things to talk about. Just in case you're here for the very first time, you're a newcomer to the show. Well, I already explained, we're here every Thursday. And of course, you can do the same thing too. You know, watch your keyboard, type on your keyboard, whatever you want to talk about, and we'll get you right in there. And anything that you want to talk about, we're here for you. Now, you must know too, we come from 3 different places: on live Facebook, we're on YouTube and Instagram as well. So we want to say hi to every one of you guys out there, wherever you are watching. All right, either one of those places. Pick your poison. It's okay. And of course, if you're watching us on Facebook, what we want you to do is take the time right now while the show is just getting started to tag all of your friends. Maybe not all of them, maybe a select few that you want to share this show with. All you have to do is tag them. You can tag the show to them right now. They'll see that notification from you. They'll know it's from you. And all they have to do is click onto that notification, and it brings them directly to us. How simple is that? And how cool is that? So do that right now. Those of you who are watching us on YouTube, well, we always, as usual, encourage you to get on our YouTube channel and subscribe to us. You do that by taking your mouse and taking that arrow, pointing it to where it says subscribe, and click onto it. That's all. It takes a lot of work, right? No, that's all you have to do. And the good thing about that is that we don't ask for any money. It's all free. It's just a matter of clicking on and becoming part of us. Because when you do that, that means that from here on in, when you clicked on, I just saw you just clicked on, right? Okay, now from here on in, whenever you see us come on live, you get notification. You may forget about the show that's coming on live. And when that information comes up, you'll see, and all you have to do is just click on, and it brings you right to the channel. Now, even if we so much have gotten the idea of maybe posting a video of some sort, you'll get notification on that too. See, that's the benefit of being part of us and subscribing to the YouTube channel. You get all of that. And for the rest of you who are watching us on Instagram, all you have to do is just keep following us. Just keep following us. Tell your family and friends, get them involved, and let them know that we're on the air each week at this time, and share it all with us. As usual, when we get the show going in conjunction of interacting with you two, we have our usual things that we do here. For instance, we're going to have sports now coming up in just a few minutes from now on this very half hour. Brian Camp, we're going to link up with him. He's all the way out in Charlotte, North Carolina. So here we're going to go from New York to Charlotte, North Carolina. And all of you around the world will get a chance to see him too. If you're watching us on Facebook and YouTube, those of you who are watching us on Instagram, you won't get a chance to see him. We're not designed to do that just yet, but you will hear him. And if you have any questions on sports when he comes in to make his report, all you have to do is just, as I said, type in. He'll see you too. He'll get a chance to see you. And if he doesn't see you on Instagram, I will see you and I will relate all of your questions to him. So we'll get it all the way around anyway, and we'll get all of that done. So all of that is coming up. Also, we have this day in history. Now, the events that happen on this day in history, you go back in time. We have that all coming up for you. This day in history, that's coming up later on in the program too. And last but not least, we are going to bring you those movies that we talk about each week, the Turner Classic Movies. Now, I have a pick of the week for the weekend because your weekend is coming up. And a lot of you do things on the weekend, but one of the things that you may want to do is catch up on some old movies you haven't seen in a long time. So what I want to do is add to your bucket list of movies on what to watch, recommendations, if you will. And so that's all coming up. And of course, we thank you for being along with us. I think that's it. I think we covered all of that, right? Okay, I think we did. Now remember, all of the views and the opinions expressed on this show, Talkback Live, does not necessarily reflect the view or the opinion of the people of Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, or any other social media, including Zoom and any broadcast facilities. So there we have everything covered along. Now, don't forget to get your friends out here, get them all out here so we can have a good time and enjoy. Oh boy, it's been a long week, hasn't it? It's been a long week. And you know something, we had a long week. We had a regular week, right? Because we got over a holiday. What do we have? We have the Juneteenth, all of that passed already. We got another long weekend coming up, right? Now, I don't know if it's going to be your long traditional weekend, because let me explain to you about that. That is the Independence Day on the 4th of July, which falls on a Tuesday of next week, okay? And Monday, think about that, guys. You don't want to take off work and not get paid for it. Think about that. Ask your supervisor if they'll allow you to take off that day. A lot of people look at it. It's not officially a holiday on Monday, because most people are going to go back to work on Monday and then take off on Tuesday and come back on Wednesday. And you're saying to yourself, wow, why should I do that? Maybe some of you guys have days coming that you want to take and you could use that. And then it'll be a super long weekend for you. Other than that, it's not official holiday for Monday, only on Tuesday. I just want to let you know that, because I don't want you to go back and tell your boss, well, you know, Frank Allan told me that it's all right for me to take off on Monday. I didn't say that. You can take off on Tuesday. And of course, a lot of people will be working on Tuesday anyway, too, as well. You know, we'll see. Anyway, it's the 4th of July holiday weekend. And so you just act accordingly. Find out from your supervisor if you're allowed to take off that day, if they recognize that day. They probably won't. You know, I hate to bust your bubble. They probably won't. But if you have days coming to you, maybe you can add that to say, okay, I have days coming to me, so I want to take that Monday off. And then I'll be back on Wednesday, if you're lucky to have that. But it's not an official day off for Monday, just Tuesday. And we look forward to it. And a lot of things are going to be happening for the 4th of July. We're celebrating our independence for this country. And so let's keep that in mind, other than the firecrackers and the fireworks that goes off. You know, this is another thing. And people doing outdoor barbecues. That's one of the traditional things that people do on the 4th of July. But remember, we're celebrating our independence for our country here in the good old US of A. So that's what we're celebrating, the 4th of July, Independence Day. And that's coming on Tuesday. And there you go. So I explained all of that to you. And we're still in the midst of let's see, we're still in the midst of Pride Month. And tomorrow will be the last day. Tomorrow will be the last day of Pride Month. But there were so many things happening. Last weekend, there was a parade. Had a Pride Month parade going on Sunday, right on Fifth Avenue here in New York. I'm pretty sure there were a lot of celebrations elsewhere, all around the country, all around the world, celebrating by way of parades. I don't really know whether or not they broadcast it on TV or not. I don't know. They probably did. I just probably didn't see it. But there was a big parade right up on Fifth Avenue, where they have most of the major parades every year or every so often, whenever those days come around where parades are usually displayed. It's usually on Fifth Avenue. And so, yeah, they had a big parade on Fifth Avenue this past Sunday. So yes, we are in the midst of it, still Pride Month, and we have just one more day, which is tomorrow. One more day, which is tomorrow. And so there you go. We have all of that, and there you go. That's all it takes. Okay, just in case you're just joining us once again, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. My name is Frank Allan, and I am going to be with you for the balance of the hour. We're going to share this whole hour. Just in case you're just joining us, you missed us. We're like 10 minutes in. We're 10 minutes in already. 11 minutes, I should say, into the show. So you missed 11 minutes, but we didn't get to the meat of the program. We'll get to all of that right now. Okay, I just want to let you know that Nicholas Costa, who's an actor best known for his work on soap operas such as Santa Barbara, All My Children, and Another World, died a couple of days ago. And he's known also for other television programs. Costa appeared on other programs such as The Green Hornet, Charlie's Angels, One Day at a Time, Who's the Boss, Star Trek, The New Generation, and many, many more. Of course, Cold Case 2. You may remember those shows. He was on those shows. Anyway, Nicholas Costa passed away on Tuesday. He passed away Tuesday evening in a hospital in Florida. He was 89 years old. And so we sent all of our condolences out to the family and the friends and all of his colleagues that knew him and loved him and worked with him. And we want to send all our condolences out to him. Good actor. He's been all over the place. I've already read some of his credits, so you know all around now. You may not know the face. I don't have a picture to show you, but that was him. And so again, that was Mr. Costa, Nicholas Costa, and he was 89 years old. Now, a lot of you may be wondering. Now, you heard the story about Madonna, right? She wound up in a hospital. Well, I have good news for you. Madonna has been discharged from the hospital. She has been discharged. She was transported to her home in New York City. She lives here in New York City. They gave her a private ambulance. They brought her back, and she's in the clear. She's doing very well right now. This is the story I'm getting right now. The 64-year-old singer developed a series of bacterial infections, which led her to several days in the ICU in the hospital on Saturday. But she's out now, but she's still going to be under doctor's care. And she's still going to arrest herself. Now, what she had to do, she had to cancel her big tour that's coming up. And I'm pretty sure that tour is going to go on, but they don't have any information just yet. But they'll relay all of that information when they're going to bring it back, when they're going to start the tour. But right now, it's all canceled, just in case you guys are ready and all tuned up and ready to see Madonna on her tour. She canceled that. It's canceled, and so she's going to be recuperating. You want to make sure she's in good health. Of course, you're not going to want to see a sick Madonna on the stage, right? You want to make sure she's well. Right now, she's doing very well, but we want to make sure that she stays under doctor's care until they clear her to get ready to go on tour. Because I got to tell you guys, the road is a long business. It's a serious business being on the road. And so we want to make sure when she's out there, she's physically fit to do it and physically strong to do it. So Madonna, we look forward to. I love Madonna. I really do. Well, I understand Pat Sajak is up for retirement, right? And Ryan Seacrest is going to be taking over that show, The Wheel of Fortune. And that show's been around forever. And so this is the story I got. Pat Sajak up for retirement. He's going to retire, but the show stays on. And Ryan Seacrest is going to be, well, it's allegedly said that he's going to be taking over that show, Wheel of Fortune. And unfortunately, I hear that Vanna White is kind of like, she's kind of like in a sour way right now because of her salary. It's not going up, and she hasn't had a salary. I think, like she said, for 18 years, she hasn't had a salary boost for 18 years. She's been turning numbers all of that time, but not receiving the salary she deserves. So evidently, Mr. C, what did I say his name? Ryan. Let me get back to the name. Sometimes I use the script sometimes. Ryan Seacrest. Sometimes he's coming in, but now that he's coming in, they're still not upping her salary. And so she's wondering what the how come I'm not getting paid? We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But the show still goes on. The show still goes on. And of course, I know a lot of you were wondering about that, but it still goes on. Okay, let's continue our show. Let's move on because Brian Camp right now is here and he's coming here from Charlotte, North Carolina. He has the latest developments in today's world of sports. It's Sports Update. Brian, how are you today?
I'm doing good. 41 years on a job is unbelievable. That's 41 seasons.
Yeah.
Alex Trebek had a long tenure, and I think Art Fleming before him had a long tenure. It's just amazing. And when I think about Family Feud, I think about Richard Dawson.
Yeah.
He had a long run, and Steve Harvey, and there was a couple of guys between them two that's had a few long runs on these game shows.
Mm-hmm.
The guy from Price is Right, Bob Barker, is another one.
Yeah.
So it looked. I don't know if it's easy work, but I know that they just don't do one show a night. They do like a series of shows for the whole day that will pan out to be in a couple of weeks, time and everything. That means change of wardrobe every show you do, and that's a long process every day. But you can be on vacation and you say, oh yeah, I remember I did that a month ago.
That's right. But they do those various shows. They do about 5 shows a day.
5 shows,
well, maybe not a day, but for a week, and then come back the following week and do another 5 shows or whatever it is, because they want to do one for the week. And only people that you don't see with a wardrobe change if a contestant comes back and they're wearing the same thing.
Exactly. And that's how I met my wife. She wanted me to meet her family. So her mother and her aunt had an extra ticket. So they said, I think it's time that we meet this man. So I was able to sit in the Wheel of Fortune for like a whole day of watching game shows live. They had the different, they tell you when to applaud, they tell you when to do all that stuff, all the background stuff. It was fun.
Where did you go to see that Wheel of Fortune? Because aren't they in California?
They're in California, but sometimes they go on the road though. They come to New York. So I saw them at Radio City Music Hall.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. Sometimes they move around. Sometimes they go to Florida, but the majority of the time is in California.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing just to see these shows. If there was a show that I would be a contestant on, it would probably be Jeopardy. I like Jeopardy. It's challenging.
Something I really never gotten to Jeopardy. I'm just recently in and out of Jeopardy now. Alex Trebek is no longer there. They're having a hard time finding a permanent host. I think they found one. I'm not sure because I'm not really up on Jeopardy, but they were just juggling different hosts around until they find the right one. Every time you think of Jeopardy or any of those shows like that, you always think, I don't care how long or how new a person is, or whoever comes in to take over that show, everybody's always going to think about Alex Trebek.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And even the old timers that's older than me and you will always remember Art Fleming. I remember Art Fleming towards the tail end, and
Yeah.
so
I remember that.
But yes, it's fun to watch, and whoever the new host will be, congratulations and wish you the best, and maybe you do another 40 some odd years.
Who knows? Who knows? Nobody ever called me to try to host a show.
Yes. But good evening to you all out there listening. Is here in the Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina. It is 84 degrees as we speak. Yes, it's steady. It was a steady 84, 85 throughout the day. It didn't go up. It didn't go crazy. It just stayed steady. And hope everybody's doing well. We get to sports. History was made last night. Yes, for the 24th time in Major League Baseball history, a perfect game was accomplished by New York Yankee pitcher Domenico German. He's from the Dominican Republic. He became the fourth New York Yankee to achieve this milestone. Now, Don Larson did it in 1956 in the World Series. David Wells, David Cone, and now Domingo, German. Now, the previous three Yankee hurlers that pitched the perfect game, guess what? They won the World Series. Is that an omen? Yankees got a lot of work to do to catch up to even continue that streak. But yes, I got a notification that the Yankee pitcher has a perfect game through 7 innings. It caught my attention, so I said, let me turn away from what I was looking at and just turn to the last couple of innings. And sure enough, it was congratulations to this young man. He was having trouble pitching for the Yankees. He was getting knocked around, hit hard and everything, but he came through. They made a couple of spectacular plays to secure the perfect game throughout the game. So congratulations.
And he dedicated that game to his uncle.
Yes, he did. Yes, I was watching the game, and Ryan Ruocco was doing the game. Boy, I bet you, what's the Yankee announcer, the regular announcer?
Michael Kay.
Michael Kay. I don't think he do road games. He might, but this was out in California. Maybe they have a contract where now what they do now, a lot of the announcers, they stay home in their home city and broadcast the game through satellite, which is not the same.
Road games. Maybe he stopped. Maybe he stays home because now he has his radio show to do, and he has so many things. So maybe.
Well, even with the radio show or the simulcast TV show that he has on the Yes Network, he still is able to do his radio show, and then the next hour goes straight into the game.
Yeah.
So times are different now where they don't really travel with the teams a lot unless it is really necessary. So congratulations to him. News today, still in baseball, the Pittsburgh Pirates and the San Diego Padres game this afternoon was delayed for 45 minutes due to what? Poor air quality. Here we go again. Caused by the lingering smoke from the wildfires in Canada. The game supposed to start at 12:35 start, was pushed back to 1:20. The game began with the lights on. Imagine at 12 noon or 1 o'clock in the afternoon, you have to turn the lights on. And so they're having some wildfires again in Canada. Somebody reported on social media that, oh, here we go again. We got to put the mask on. And I read today, I was watching New York news today from Charlotte, that New York has one of the worst air quality right now. People are wearing their masks again. So, and if you have health issues, put those masks on. Don't throw them away yet. I've been in New York a couple of weeks ago, and it was I had to wear my mask again. You would think that COVID was still going. COVID is still going on, believe it or not. But it's just the fact is that the air quality is so bad right now in New York, because is one of the worst cities right now. Great place to visit, but right now with all the pollution and the machinery that's going on, so you gotta be careful. In football, the NFL has scheduled a meeting July 20th, where the owners are expected to vote on the sale of the Washington Commanders, formerly known as the Redskins, to a group led by Josh Harris. The NFL sent a memo to the owners to discuss the sale of the Commanders from Dan and Tanya Snyder, who are co-owners. They are her husband and wife, to the Harris Group for a record of $6.6 billion. So that's a lot of money. That's a record too. And then the NBA tomorrow starts the beginning of free agency. So check out your local listings for players who's going to be shopping around in the NBA where they could sign a new contract. This day in sports, June 29th, 1961, Willie Mays becomes the fourth player in Major League Baseball history with 3 or more home runs twice in one season. So he did that a couple of times in one season. 1962, Frank Howard hits the 5,000 career Dodger home run. That's as a franchise, not for him, but as a franchise. 1977, Hall of Fame outfielder Willie Stargell, known as Pops, had that big 1979 when he carried his team and they used the theme song "We Are Family" by Sister Sledge, I believe it was. Yes, he hits his 400th career home run as the Pittsburgh Pirates defeated the Cardinals 9-1. 1986, Sparky Anderson is the first manager to win 600 games in both the National League and the American League. 1990, Oakland A's Dave Stewart and Dodger Fernando Valenzuela no-hits the Blue Jays and the Cardinals respectively on the same day. 2 no-hitters in the same day. Amazing. And 1995, George Foreman loses the IBF title, refusing to refight Axel Schultz. And he refused to fight for whatever reason, so they had to take away his belt. Birthdays today: 1936, Harmon Killebrew, Hall of Famer, born in Payette, Idaho. 1954, Rick Honeycutt, Major League Baseball pitcher, was born in Chattanooga, Tennessee. 1956, Pedro Carrero, born in the San Pedro de Mancos in the Dominican Republic. And today, my favorite player, today is his birthday. Not my all-time favorite player, but my favorite player of today, Kawhi Leonard, NBA forward was born in Los Angeles, California. And ladies and gentlemen, that is sports on a beautiful, sunny, warm day here in the Queen City of Charlotte.
Mingo Harmon, I believe that's how they pronounce it. Harmon, it's German. You said German, but I said it too. But I just found out it's pronounced differently. It's Domingo Harmon.
I kind of figured it was. But whatever is easy for me to say.
Yeah. But they get it. They get it. Yeah. But get it. And I was really happy to see that, because just the day before that, I was speaking to one of my neighbors who live in my building, who's also a Yankee fan. And we were coming up in the building, riding the elevator together. And I said, what about those Yankees, man? He says, I don't even know them anymore, because they're back in 3rd place, which is not bad. It's not bad, but those are not the Yankees that we knew. It's not the Yankees I knew.
Well, Aaron Judge has been out too, so
right.
The injury.
And then they come up with Domingo Harmon with this perfect game. And this is the first perfect game for the Yankees that's been done in 11 years.
Yeah.
And who did it last? Was it David Cone or David Wells?
David Cone.
Okay, I knew it was one of them. I couldn't remember. And so this is like 11 years ago, when this happened. And that number, he's wearing number 0. they have
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
well, look, Aaron Judge is wearing 99.
Yeah, that's true. But did you know, or you probably remember this, that a long time ago, pitchers didn't wear single numbers. I don't know if you ever noticed that most all of the pitchers back in the early days, they wore double numbers. Never pitchers never wore single numbers.
Now it doesn't matter what you wear as long as
It
you do
doesn't
the
matter.
job, right?
I'll tell you why it doesn't matter, because there are a couple of more major leaguers right now who are wearing single numbers. And one of them is Matt Belize of the Minnesota Twins. He's wearing number 9. He's a pitcher. He's wearing number 9. And Carl Edwards Jr. of the Chicago Cubs is wearing number 6. So, so things are changing.
New generation, yeah.
It doesn't matter anymore, you know. So listen, as long as you could make the team, as long as you can get the team rolling, it doesn't matter what number you're wearing. You can wear numbers.
All that matters.
99.
Right.
Those numbers were never heard of before. 0 and 99 were never heard of before.
Yeah, and more players are wearing the number 13.
Yeah, exactly. I wonder if they are ever going to go up to past. I think that's silly to even think about it. Go past 99.
Yeah, I mean, well, with the Yankees, you never know because they retired so many numbers.
I know they're running out of numbers, you know, and that's probably one of the reasons why the numbers escalate so high now. Because I remember it didn't in the major leagues. I don't think the numbers went past number 60. I don't think it went past 60.
Yeah,
maybe in the minor leagues they had those high numbers back then, but I don't think the numbers went past 60 in the major leagues. But now they went up, and you can wear any kind of number now.
baseball pitchers usually around in the old days was like in their 30s and 40s, like Bob Gibson and Tom Seaver, you know.
Yeah.
Nolan Ryan, those guys,
Yeah.
you know, used to wear those
Nolan
numbers.
Ryan was 45. Tom Seaver was what, 41?
41.
Yeah. Gibson was 45.
Gibson was 45.
I
Yeah.
don't like that number 45 anymore. But that's just me.
Yeah.
That's just me. Okay, I guess we'll catch you back here tomorrow, right?
Same time, yes. Tomorrow, regular time.
Same time and same bat channel, same bat station. Okay,
Yes.
yeah.
Take care.
All right, take care. That's Brian Camp, ladies and gentlemen, with the latest developments in today's world of sports update. He's here every week at this time, and he's going to be here tomorrow on the coffee hour with us, as he always come along and bring us the latest developments in today's world of sports. If you have any sports questions, of course, we're always glad to help you out, answer your questions. You can do that. You can ask questions now, and we could relay all those questions to him. You'll get the answers here. Other than that, check us out tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. on the coffee hour. He'll be back here, and he'll have more sports news for you. That's all coming right here. And right now, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. You're just joining us? Well, if you're here for the first time, we thank you so much for being along with us. Remember, we're on 3 different places. We're on Facebook Live, we're on YouTube, and of course, we're on Instagram as well. So it's all live and living color, I may add. And those of you, again, watching us on Facebook, tag all your friends. You have a few minutes in the show to go, right? We still have more time in the show. You could still tag your friends and let them see what's left of the show. And if they like what they see, they like what they hear, maybe they'll be regulars just like you. For those of you, again, who are watching us on YouTube, remember that you can always subscribe to our YouTube channel. We always encourage you to do that. And once you subscribe to our YouTube channel, it'll give you an opportunity to know that whenever we come on live or post a video of some sort, it gives you that notification if you're online to see it. And then all you have to do is click onto that notification that brings you directly to the YouTube channel. And again, those of you who are watching us on Instagram, hello to all of you guys. Keep in mind, you can always continue to follow us and continue to tell your family and friends. Keep that word percolating about the show. Okay, so that covers sports, and I think it's that time right now to get things going right now because we have what's happening in this day in history. So shall we dance? Here we go. On this day in history in 1932, USSR and China signed a non-aggression treaty. On this day in history, 1936, the Empire State Building broadcast high-definition TV 343 lines. On this day in history, 1936, George M. Cohen is the first artist to be presented with a U.S. Congressional Gold Medal by Franklin D. Roosevelt for raising war morals. And on this day in history, in 1949, U.S. troops withdraw from Korea after World War II. Back in 1963, the Beatles' first song, From Me to You, hits the UK charts. Back in 1964, the Civil Rights Act passes after 83 days filibuster in the US Senate. In the year 2009, Bernie Madoff was sentenced to 150 years in US maximum prison for conducting a massive Ponzi scheme. On this day in history, 2018, Drake releases his 5th studio album called Scorpion, and it's a double album with 25 tracks. In 1907, Paul O'Dwyer, an American politician and president of City Council in New York City, was born on this day in Mahola County, Mayo, Ireland, and he died in 1998. In 1912, actress Joan Davis, for those of you baby boomers, you remember her on I Married Joan. She was born in St. Paul, Minnesota, and she died in 1961. In 1916, actress Ruth Warwick, she played on Citizen Kane. She was also known as the character as Phoebe Tyler on All My Children, and a lot of other things that she's done too. She was born on this day in St. Joseph, Missouri, and she died in 2005. Singer Little Eva, with the big hit Locomotion, was born on this day in 1943 in Belhaven, North Carolina. She died April 10th, 2003 at the age of 59 years old, and she died from cancer. She died from cancer. In 1944, actor Gary Busey, who was born in Goose Creek, Texas. He was born on this day. I don't have a day, or I don't have his age. Maybe he's better well said. Maybe he didn't want it. I don't know. Anyway, comedian Richard Lewis was born on this day in 1947, and he was born in New York City. He's 76 years old today. And actor Fred Grandy, who played Gopher on The Love Boat, was born in Iowa. He's 75 years old today. In 1961, actress Sharon Lawrence, who played on NYPD Blue, was born in Charlotte, North Carolina, out there where Brian is right now. She's 63 years old today. In 1931, actress Mary Astor weds Dr. Franklin Thorpe. Back in 1956, Marilyn Monroe marries playwright Arthur Miller in White Plains, New York. They got divorced in 1961. In 1967, actress Maggie Smith weds actor Robert Stevens in Greenwich, England. Okay, in 1983, producer Dick Wolf, who was the big producer for Law and Order SVU, weds Christine Marburg. In 2002, actor-comedian Tom Arnold weds Shelby Roos in Beverly Hills, California. In 2005, actress Jennifer Garner weds actor Ben Affleck, and they were divorced in 2018. In 1943, actor Jerry Coogan, who played on The Addams Family, divorced actress Flower Parry after 2 years of marriage. And in 2012, actress Katie Holmes divorced Tom Cruise after 5 years of marriage. Actress Jane Mansfield died on this day in 1967 at the age of 34 years old in a car crash. She was born April 19th, 1933 in Pennsylvania. In 1968, actress Kitty Kelly, the legendary Kitty Kelly, who was famous for the movie Ladies of the Jury and Behind Office Doors, died at the age of 66. And back in 1978, Bob Crane, radio disc jockey and actor, he was the lead actor of Hogan's Hero, died at the age of 49 years old. Actress Lana Turner died on this day in 1995 at the age of 74 years old from cancer. She was born February 8th, 1921 in Wallace, Idaho. Actress Katharine Hepburn died on this day in 2003 at the age of 96 years old from natural causes. She was born May 12th in 1907 in Hartford, Connecticut. In 2007, critic Joel Siegel was born, and he passed away in 1943. And finally, actor comedian Carl Reiner died on this day in 2020 at the age of 98 years old, and he was born March 20th, 1922 in New York City. And so there you go. You have all of what happened on this day in history. Now, those of you who may have something that you know about that happened on this day in history, if you're a history buff, all right, and you know something that I didn't mention, maybe you want to put it out there, I'll see you right there. Well, yeah, just type it in and we'll put it right there on the big screen. I'll see you in the big screen. And then, of course, I will acknowledge that. I will acknowledge all of you who will type in. A lot of you who like to watch the show may not want to join in conversation. You just want to just sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. That's okay, too. And for those of you people who do that and still like to get in touch with me, maybe you want to express something personal, I have two things that you can do. You can either email me or you can call me, all right? Why don't I give you the email address first, right? The email address is Frank Allan Prod. Allan is spelled A-L-L-A-N. Prod is P-R-O-D, that's short for productions. Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. Now, the telephone number is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. You can use those two sources to contact me. Maybe there's something that you want to talk about the show. You might want to know more about the show, how long we've been doing this show. Maybe you have ideas to help on the show. Maybe you want to critique the show, anything you want. All we have to do is just use those sources and let us know. And because we look forward to your communications and, of course, your input about the show, too, because it helps us out a lot. So you can do that. Just be diplomatic. That's all we ask. All right. Okay, let me give you that email address once again. It's frankallanprod at AOL.com. That's frankallanprod at AOL.com. The telephone number, once again, is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. There you go. And just in case you're just joining us, okay, the name of the show, once again, is called Talk Back Live. And I want to say hello to all of you who are watching right now. And you take the opportunity to tell your friends. And again, once you get a chance to, whatever time we have left, we have a little bit over 16 minutes before the show is over, 17 minutes or so. And all you have to do is tag your friends, tag this show to them, and they'll see that information. And once they see that notification, they'll know it's coming from you. And all you have to do is just tag them. They'll click onto that notification. It brings you directly to us. They'll come directly to us. It's just as simple as that. So there you go. You have that. Okay, thank you guys again for being along with us. Brian mentioned something earlier. He just blurted it out. He was talking about the mask when he was in New York, because we had that smoke, that brush fire, or I guess the wildfire, if you will, coming out of Canada. And our air quality has gone to another level again. It dipped down. So it's not as bad as it was before, but the air quality wasn't that great today. And we look for it to be better tomorrow as it goes along. But we have some bad air quality. And when Brian was mentioning that when he came to New York, he wore his mask because of that. By the time he got here, the air quality wasn't as bad. So a lot of people didn't wear their masks, but some people did. And you heard him when he mentioned, he said it was almost like being with COVID. And as he mentioned, COVID is not over. It's not over. It's still here. And that just leads me to tell you that there will be a new COVID vaccine come this fall. All right. I just want you to know that there's a new vaccine coming out for COVID. Now, again, it is something that you might want to think about. Now, we already know that a lot of people who initially didn't use the vaccine or refuse to get the vaccine, they have no intentions of getting this vaccine. But you want to stay up to date. And as I said, COVID, it's all mild, and we're back to almost like really basically normal. People are riding buses and subways together and eating and restaurants and going to bars. They're all together. But you want to be on the safe side. Treat it like you're taking your vaccination as you take the flu vaccination, which I hope you're getting as well, which is right around the corner. So when those vaccinations come out, you might want to do that. Think about that. Think about that. I know a lot of people don't want to get poked with a lot of vaccines and things like that, with a lot of needles. They don't want to get poked with that, but they do want to be healthy. So the best thing to do is, take it on. Now, again, a lot of people who are not taking it, and not taking it for whatever reason. Some people take it for the reasons that they think that if they take the vaccine, they're going to grow 2 heads and 5 ears, or maybe a chip be injected into their body. Whatever. But for all of you reasonable people, when it comes out, we don't know. I'll give you the information when I know something. When it's out, I will definitely let you know. But there will be a new COVID vaccine this fall. That's the information I got, and so we look forward to that. We'll see what happens with that. Okay, and here's the big news today, folks. Here's the biggest news of the day, and it's all over the news. When you thought you got over the hump, always something comes along, and you've heard about it too. And today, when I'm out and about, early, I get my day early. My day started early, and just gear up for the show for tonight. And coming back, I met one of my neighbors, and we talked for a while. He said, "Hey, you know something? I just came from my apartment. I was watching TV. I was watching the news." And he was telling me that Supreme Court ruled that they're going to cancel affirmative action. And I said, "Wait a minute, hold on." I said, "Now that doesn't sound right. It doesn't sound right, And sure enough, I looked on the news, but what he didn't say, though, it was the ruling of affirmative action programs in college admission. All right. So either way, it's a sad day that happened. So these are the Supreme Courts, and we already know who's on the Supreme Court. All right. So they're wondering, a lot of people are taking classes, they're wondering, how is it going to affect them? Of course, we already know how it's going to affect them. We already know how and why the people in the Supreme Court decided they were going to vote this out. And this, I didn't see it coming at all. I mean, I'm not really surprised, but a lot of things are happening. And so this is like affirmative action. They're canceling affirmative action. They're feeling that, well, we don't have to look at color anymore. That's past tense. So says the people who take all of these gifts, accept all of these gifts, and break the laws that they want to lock you and me up for. They break the laws that they want to lock you and me up for. These are the people who make the determination. Can you imagine that? They make the determination on, we'll decide that you no longer need affirmative action because we don't need to support you anymore. That's past tense. This is not 1865 or 1860 or 1960. And so we don't need that anymore. All right. So tell me what's next. I mean, they go into the school programs and they tell you, well, we're canceling affirmative action. Now, people who have jobs and own businesses can say, that's in the school. But what about my business? What about that? If it's good for the goose, isn't it good for the gander? What about my business? And this whole thing will possibly spread. We don't know that. And I understand the Supreme Court and we already knew this, they want to work on a lot of things. They want to ban and abolish a lot of things that they feel in their mind shouldn't be on the table. But what's on the table is already what I just told you. And another thing I think possibly being on the table is the Supreme Court wants to judge whether or not the rights for the LGBTQ plus community. Okay, now we already know that they fought a lot and fought hard for them. And by the way, since we're saying that, we want to say to you, happy Pride Day to all of you. They have those things on the table, and who knows what else they have on the table. Who knows what else they have on the table? Now, affirmative action, of course, you already know affirmative action came in because the Blacks didn't get the opportunity to do a lot of things that they were supposed to do. They were outcast, they were ostracized, and not able to get these opportunities that they needed. Now, this is the real world. Now, in the play world, right? You don't need affirmative action. This is the play world. This is the unreal world. You don't need affirmative action. Everybody's equal. And everyone gets the same opportunity. All they have to do is just know how to do the job, and they get the first opportunity. They don't have to compete with their white counterparts or their black counterparts. They don't have to do that. It's the real world. This is what we do. We say we don't need affirmative action. That's in the play world. In the real world, they need it, and that's why they put affirmative action in for the purpose of that. They wouldn't need affirmative action if everybody played ball and noticed people, because now you got not just Blacks, you got the Asian community, you got the Latino community, you got the Indian community, and they want to pass all of that. And affirmative action is good because, listen, people go to schools. And I heard a girl in an interview today. She did an interview today with one of the reporters and said that she loved the idea of interacting with other people, other races, other cultures, other religions, because she learned from that. She learned a lot. And she was right. You learn a lot. You can learn from other people. Instead of judging people, you can ask people. Now, if I don't know anything about you, I'm going to ask you, how does this happen? Because I'm always interested in learning about other people's religions too, other than my own. And because a lot of people say, only one religion is the right religion. Now, you may say your religion is the only religion to go by. You may say that. And I've heard that, but it's not the case. People choose their own, how they want to, worship, or who they want to worship. They choose their own. But you can learn from other people. And so one of the good things about the affirmative action is that, you even though they may say, okay, we have to fill the quota, we have to fill a Black quota, we have to fill an Indian quota, an Asian quota, and that's it. Why fill quotas? Okay, let's go back into the non-real world. We don't have any quotas. We're going to just bring you right in. All you have to do is just know the job, and we'll bring you right in. No competitive, no nothing. We don't care if you're white, Black, or otherwise. We don't care. We just want you in to do the job, And but now it doesn't work that way now. And the fight is not over, by the way. A lot of people are really angry about this. A lot of the politicians, and this is going to have an effect on who you vote for. And this is going to have an effect on who's running this game. And so someone's afraid of something, and that's why they're doing this. I mean, we've got situations where they want to take books out of the library. They don't want any Black literature because it's poison. They don't want any of that. you know. So now, ladies and gentlemen, you have to decide if you're going to take that, and you don't have to. And when they say we the people, they're talking about every one of us. They're talking about all Americans, we the people, all Americans. You know, we make the decision. The president of the United States worked for us. We don't work for him. We work for us. And anyone that holds that office, it's not my army, it's not my military, it's not my anything. It belongs to the United States of America, not one individual. We've got a lot of things to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. We got a lot of work to do in this country. A lot. And so I urge you, don't panic, don't worry, because look at it this way. No one can do anything to you that they haven't done before. No one can do anything to us that hasn't been done before. There's no more originality. And, you know, if they could take us back to the 1950s, or if they could wrap us up in chains like they did back in the old days, they would do it. But you and I know that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. You know, you got to watch how you do things, because things kind of have a tendency of backfiring. You know, you have a powder keg and you're carrying it like nitroglycerin. If you're walking, you got to walk slow with nitroglycerin. You make the first hard step, boom. So I just wanted to bring that out to you. And I'm pretty sure there's more to talk about as it goes along. It's all over the news now. And I'm pretty sure on the radio stations and the TV stations, they're all up on it, all up on it. We got a lot of work to do, folks. This is a terrible world, and it's just not right. 345/666. I don't say where you should go, but there's a place for you. Just leave it at that. Okay, here's some movies that I think you're going to like, and you can do this over the weekend. These are my picks of the week, that I think you're going to like for your weekend. If you are so inclined of watching movies, I have an abundance of them for you. As a matter of fact, let's get started right now with the few I have. I think I have like 4 right now, but they are good movies. Yankee Doodle Dandy from 1942, starring James Cagney. You can see that on Turner Classic Movies, coming up this Saturday at 12 noon. 12 p.m. Eastern. All of the times I'm giving you are Eastern. It's Yankee Doodle Dandy. Great movie. High Society with Bing Crosby, Grace Kelly, and Frank Sinatra from 1956. Also on Turner Classic Movies. You can catch that Sunday in the AM, 6 a.m. You don't want to wake up that early? DVR it. DVR it. And then when you wake up, or you decide you want to go to church and then come back on Sunday for your Sunday dinner, you could watch it at any time you like, because you already DVR'd it. And that's High Society. Casablanca from 1942, Humphrey Bogart and Ingrid Bergman. That's on Turner Classic Movies, also on Sunday. And it's reasonable, 4 p.m. Eastern. You can check it out then. And as we go back to 1938, Jezebel, starring Betty Davis and Henry Fonda, also on Turner Classic Movies. And that's directly after Casablanca at 6 p.m. Eastern. All of these great movies are there for you. You could also go on Turner Classic Movies to check out the program guide. There may be movies there that I didn't mention, not that I don't like them, but there are my picks of the week. And you can get involved and watch those, all of those movies too. You can put them in your DVR and just watch them later on at your very own convenience. Also, ladies and gentlemen, you can also go and watch on demand. There are a lot of great movies on demand, free movies. You can go on demand and watch the pay-per-view movies, the newer movies, the movies that are in the theater now. You don't want the ambiance of a real theater. Go and you can watch those movies. You pay a little more, of course, but you watch them. And you got the networks and everything there. Everything is there. Networks, if you like sporting events, you don't get a chance to see it in real time. You could also be assured or rest assured that it's right there for you the following day. So there you go. So get a chance to see those movies, and I hope you enjoy them. We're going to come back tomorrow at 10 a.m. for more of the coffee hour. The coffee hour will feature more sports. Brian Camp will be along with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. Of course, I hope to see you there too. And we'll have coffee and donuts in the whole 9 yards. But I'll be back here also come next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And that's Talk Back Live. Brian Camp will be here with sports as well. And of course, we'll have a lot to talk about. And of course, I hope there are a lot of good things to talk about for a change. Other than that, I'll see you back here tomorrow morning. You guys have a wonderful day, a great morning, good evening, afternoon, and pleasant good night. Talk to you then. Bye-bye.
You've been watching Talk Back Live with your host Frank Allen. The producer is Al Dale. Technical assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer Donna Stanky. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Talk Back Live.